I came home after a 12-hour shift, my body screaming for rest, my mind hazy from exhaustion. I had been dreaming of nothing more than collapsing onto my bed, letting the weight of the day crush me into unconsciousness. The familiar hum of our apartment greeted me, the comforting smell of our shared home. But then, something twisted, something grotesque shattered that illusion. I opened the bedroom door, and the world seemed to tilt sideways. "What the fuck, Mark?" The words ripped out of me before my brain could even process the scene. He was on the bed. His movements were mechanical, lost in rhythm. My heart slammed against my ribs as I struggled to process the scene in front of me. It wasn't a woman. It wasn't a lover. It was a doll. A sex doll. Full-sized, with long black hair, hollow black eyes that seemed to pierce through me, and a smile that made my skin crawl. Its legs were wrapped around him, and when our eyes met, a flicker of fear and shame passed over his face. He gently pulled the doll away, his hands trembling like they had been caught in a crime. My tongue ached with the urge to scream, to curse, to hit. He yanked his pants back up, avoiding my gaze. "What is that? You're fucking a doll." My voice cracked, the words raw and unfiltered. This wasn't a toy to him. This was a body. Something he had brought into our sacred space. "Look, Danielle, I know you're upset," he said, chest puffed in a hollow mimicry of confidence. "It's not cheating. It's just a toy. It could never replace you." I wanted to believe him, but the sight of that thing, lifeless yet grotesquely animated in its positioning, clawed at my mind. Our marriage, already stretched thin by long hours and silent resentment, felt like it had unravelled in seconds. We lay there, two ghosts circling the same worn floorboards, haunted by the remnants of years together. I told him he could do what he wanted in his private time, but this was wrong, unseemly. He nodded, head down, promising he would get rid of it. I didn't believe him. He folded the doll like a piece of paper, zipped it into its case, and dragged it to the bathroom closet. When he returned, the bed felt colder, emptier. We didn't touch. Words felt heavy, useless. Time slowed. Days bled into one another. He dressed silently for work in the mornings while I sat with coffee, staring into space, letting the steam rise from my cup while the news droned on in the background, unheard. The unmarked box that had arrived weeks ago lingered in my mind like a shadow I could not shake. Curiosity gnawed at me. I needed answers. I turned on his computer, heart pounding, fingers trembling. Emails? Nothing. Search history? Empty. Alternate accounts? Bank accounts? Nothing. My stomach churned as I tried to trace the origin of this intrusion into our lives. Then, the bang, deep, heavy, muffled, from the bathroom closet. My body froze, every nerve screaming, my heart hammering like a drum. I approached cautiously, hand closing around the closet knob, my mind a storm of fear and disbelief. The light flicked on. The doll lay there, its head protruding from the case, grinning wide. Its hollow eyes seemed to stare straight into my soul. Goosebumps climbed my arms. My stomach lurched with nausea. I grabbed a broom, shoving it, dragging it into the corner out of sight. I sat on the edge of the tub, waiting for Mark to come home, longing for him to act, to show understanding, to prove that he grasped the magnitude of this violation. When he arrived, confrontation ignited. Words collided like heavy stones. Accusations and excuses tumbled from both of us. I demanded to know where it came from. His face turned pale, red draining into white. He stammered. I didn't get it anywhere. It just showed up, he said, his voice unsteady, faltering under my gaze. I felt disbelief and anger pulse through me. How could this be possible? He groped at the memory, lost in a foggy haze of explanation. We walked a fragile tightrope that morning, balancing between outrage and compromise. By the end, we reached a shaky understanding. The doll would remain locked away, invisible, a silent reminder of the breach, and our intimacy had to be rebuilt from scratch. Days passed. Life attempted its rhythm. Music floated in the mornings, breakfast routines resumed, but the house smelled of plastic, sour and clinging. Black hairs appeared in corners, stubborn, persistent. Footprints, white, powdery crescents, marked a path straight to the bathroom closet. I began questioning my own sanity. Was I paranoid? Or was something alive in the darkness, breathing, waiting? Piles of clothes seemed to twist into shapes, animate themselves, forming grotesque silhouettes that slunk along the walls. Weeks passed. Therapy helped partially, but the fear never left. Even in the quiet moments when Mark reassured me it was just plastic and rubber, I could not shake the unease. Misplaced clothes, stretched straps, faint odours. They all gnawed at my mind, creeping into the edges of my consciousness. Then, one night, it escalated. We were attempting intimacy again, trying to reclaim what the doll had nearly stolen from us. Mark lingered too long in the closet. My eyes caught movement in the corner, shadows bending against the light. My chest tightened. "Mark?" My voice quivered, almost breaking. The closet door creaked. Footsteps moved. I pulled the sheets up defensively, heart hammering. The door opened. Not him. Something else. Alive. Wrong. It lunged. Its weight pinned me to the bed. Its mouth opened, hair hanging like oil, eyes blazing with hatred, hollow yet searing. I screamed internally, paralysed with horror. Mark grabbed a stool. I flung the covers, igniting a candle. Smoke thickened, curling through the room. The creature writhed, rolled, hunted, then froze. Its expression, grotesque and human-like, lingered, hatred and jealousy etched into its silicone face. We fled, sirens wailing in the distance, chaos replacing normalcy. The doll, or whatever had taken its form, was destroyed in the fire. The house survived, but we would never truly feel safe again. We moved states, seeking distance, seeking a semblance of peace. A baby came, exhaustion blending with joy, masking the horrors of the past. But then, one afternoon, a box appeared on the mat. No labels, no markings. Curiosity surged. My hand rose to the tape, but my daughter's cry froze me. Disgust overwhelmed curiosity. I dragged the box to the dumpster. Fuck that.